Imagine being 12 years old and so ashamed of your own face that you wear a cardboard box to school every single day. You walk through the hallways hearing the laughter, the whispers, the cruel nicknames, but you never show your face. Because you believe that if people see the real you, they'll run. This was the life of Ethan Parker, a boy who hid inside a carton until the day everything changed. The alarm clock buzzed. Ethan's hand shot out to silence it, but his eyes were already open. He hadn't really slept. He rarely did before school. His bedroom was quiet, and the posters on the wall faded from years of sunlight. On his desk sat the one object that defined him, a plain brown cardboard box, edges bent, holes cut out for eyes, and a slit for breathing. Ethan sat on the edge of his bed, staring at it like it was both a shield and a curse. His chest felt heavy. He whispered to himself, "Here we go again." He slid the box over his head. The inside smelled faintly of old paper and glue. His breath warmed the cardboard. The world outside dimmed, but inside, he felt safe. Invisible, downstairs, his mom was cooking eggs. She glanced at him, sadness flickering across her face. She wanted to say something, but she didn't. She'd said it all before. "Please, Ethan, just try one day without it." But she knew how that ended. On the bus, the ritual began. "Package delivery," a kid shouted. "Careful, don't drop him." Fragile contents inside. Laughter exploded. Ethan tightened his grip on the backpack straps and shuffled to the back seat. He kept his head low, carton scratching against his neck. His world was a blur of cardboard edges and muffled voices. He thought, if I just survive today, that's enough. It hadn't always been this way. When Ethan was younger, he was just another kid. Bright smile, messy hair, running around with scraped knees from climbing trees and chasing soccer balls. But at 6 years old, everything changed. A rare skin infection spread across his cheeks and jawline. It wasn't life-threatening, but it left scars. Deep, uneven, permanent. At first, kids just asked questions. What happened? Why does your face look like that? Then the nicknames started. Scarface, Monster, Burnt Boy. By middle school, Ethan couldn't take it anymore. One morning, while helping his dad unpack groceries, he saw the box. He cut holes in it, slipped it on and thought, this way no one can hurt me. And it worked. Sort of. The laughter didn't stop. The names didn't stop. But at least now, he didn't have to see their faces when they said it. It was Wednesday in the cafeteria when everything came crashing down. Ethan sat alone at a corner table, carton on his head, spooning mashed potatoes into his mouth through the slit. Around him, the room buzzed with chatter and laughter. Then, the sudden hush. A shadow fell across his tray. Before Ethan could react, rough hands yanked the carton off his head. Gasps, laughter. Someone shouted, "There he is, the freak!" Ethan froze, scars burning under the fluorescent lights. His hands twitched, desperate to grab the box back, but it was already being tossed between a group of 8th graders like a toy. He heard the laughter. The phones are clicking. His chest caved in, and then a voice. Firm, clear, cutting through the noise. Give it back to him. Every head turned. It was a girl, new to the school, Lila Anderson. She had only been there 2 weeks, quiet and reserved, but now she stood in the middle of the cafeteria, glaring at the bullies. "Did you hear me?" she said again. "Give it back." The boys laughed. "What, do you want to be his girlfriend? Box boy and box girl?" But Lila didn't flinch. She walked right up to them, snatched the carton from their hands, and carried it back to Ethan. Carefully, almost gently, she lowered it over his head again. Then she turned to the crowd. "You think you're funny? Try picking on someone who isn't braver than you." The cafeteria fell silent. For once, Ethan wasn't just the joke. For once, someone saw him. The next day at lunch, Lila sat across from him. "Mind if I sit here?" she asked. Ethan didn't answer. He just stared through the eye holes of his box. "Cool," she said, plopping down her tray anyway. "You know, your box is boring. Needs stickers, maybe a smiley face." For the first time in years, Ethan let out a small laugh. Over the next weeks, Lila kept showing up. She asked about his favorite music. She cracked jokes. She treated him like a person, not a freak. And little by little, Ethan started to talk back. But trust wasn't easy. One afternoon, sitting outside after school, Lila finally asked, "Why do you wear it?" "The box." Ethan hesitated. His hands clenched. His voice came out barely above a whisper. "Because if you see my face, you'll leave. Everyone does." Lila's eyes softened. She leaned closer. "Ethan, I don't care what you look like. I care who you are." His throat tightened. He wanted to believe her, but the fear was stronger. He shook his head. "No, you'll see. You'll leave." But deep inside, a seed of hope had been planted. When the school announced a talent show, Lila had an idea. "You should do it." Ethan laughed bitterly. "Do what? Hide on stage?" "No," she said. "Show them. Be brave. Just once." He refused at first, but her words lingered. "Be brave. Just once." The night of the show, the auditorium buzzed with parents and kids. Ethan stood backstage, carton on his head, knees shaking. His name was called. As he walked out, the audience erupted in laughter. "Box boy!" someone shouted. Ethan's hands trembled. His breath caught. He almost ran, but then he saw Lila in the front row, smiling, nodding. And slowly, he reached up. His fingers gripped the edges, the box lifted, gasps, silence. His scars glowed under the harsh lights. His voice shook. "I wore this box because I thought I had to. Because I thought I wasn't enough. But someone showed me I don't have to hide anymore." The silence hung heavy. For a long moment, nothing. Ethan's chest tightened. This was a mistake. Then, clapping. One pair of hands, Lila's, then another and another, until the entire auditorium filled with applause. Ethan blinked back tears. He had never heard clapping for him before, never felt seen like this. That night he walked off stage without the box. The next morning, school felt different. Kids still stared, but not with cruelty. Some smiled, some said, "Hey, Ethan." The bullies still existed, but their power had cracked. For the first time, Ethan walked the halls barefaced. Vulnerable, exposed, but free. At lunch, Lila grinned. "Told you so." Ethan smiled back, cheeks burning. For once, not from shame, but from hope. Years later, Ethan would look back on that carton and realize it wasn't just cardboard. It was a wall. A wall he built to survive, but it was also the wall he had to tear down to truly live. And he did, because one person, one brave girl, saw the boy, not the box. And that was enough to change everything. Ethan's story reminds us, true beauty isn't the absence of scars, it's the courage to show them. And sometimes all it takes is one person's kindness to make us believe we're worth being seen. If you like the story, comment below. If you were Ethan, what would you do? And subscribe us for more.